Greetings. As I told you, I thought I would do like maybe a couple part series on homestead butchering, I guess we could call it, as good as anything. Because there seems to be a lot of interest in it now, and maybe it's because I think it's important. Well, I do, because that's it's a choke point. Raising animals is something that is doable, but then getting them processed can be difficult. It can be half the battle, really. So I thought the first installment would be titled Facilities. And I just happened to be down here Friday morning doing my thing. Actually, Fridays are our custom butchering days, custom processing days for poultry. So one of my jobs is to come down here first thing, light off the scalder. That's the chicken scalder. So it's run by propane. It's got a thermostat on it and everything. And then fill it with water. So I kind of have to wait around down here until it's full, because if I go back to the house and have breakfast, I'll come down and it'll be overflowing. It's happened before. We've been at this 15 years now, so I thought I'd show you our facility and give a little commentary when I think it's kind of necessary. I don't have a script or anything, it's just what I think. This is our butcher shop here, all right? I'm in what they call the outer shop. So this is where most of the dirty work is done. You know, we do all the chicken plucking here and chicken scalding, and then that table right there is for gutting. And then the stuff is slid through the window there into the inner shop, and that's where the scale is and the vac packer and the cutting tables that they would do any finish work on the birds. And so this place is pretty well outfitted. I got a wood stove right here. In there's a propane stove, but that's not how it started. Here's how it started 15 years ago. There was an old concrete foundation there that was covered with leaves. It had a bunch of old pipes on it. And when I was walking around this place after we bought it, I started kicking at it and I said, wow, there's a foundation here. Come to find out, this is the old chicken house. They used to have a pretty good sized chicken house here, way back. And on that foundation, it was a level spot, and there was really no other level spots here. You know, we didn't have our maintenance shop. We didn't have the clear span building. The barn was full of junk. Everything from diapers to batteries was in that barn. It was gross. We had to butcher some of our chickens, and we just used that concrete pad to do it. And someone came by, actually the county vet, and said, "Oh, you guys do chickens, huh?" We said, "Well, I guess we do now." And they asked us if we would do the chickens for the youth show, which I had no idea what that was. And so the first year we did a lot of chickens. I think somewhere around 1,500 chickens. And we had never used a chicken plucker. We had plucked a few chickens by hand, like maybe 50 in our lives. But all of a sudden, we were it. We were the processor. So I was still working full time at the time, and we would do it nights and weekends, and it really took off. So over that concrete foundation, we put a roof, just so if it was raining, we wouldn't be working in the rain, which we did on several occasions, you know, but people brought chickens here and we felt obligated to do them, so we did them. And then we just kind of devised things little by little. Then we put walls on it, and then we insulated the walls, and then I put windows in, and one thing led to another, and before you knew it, we had this whole thing built. Then we built this section on the shop, and because we were doing a lot of the work just outside, and we still do some of the work outside. But I thought I would kind of show you that you don't need this. You know, this is where we've landed after a lot of years, and just building on as we feel like we want to. And at one time, we were doing all kinds of animals in here. We were doing pigs. We even did some cows in here. I built it so that I could rail a cow in here. But then we found out the politics involved with it, and we just didn't want to do it anymore. But we still do our own cows. I just don't use this shop to do them because this is turkey season, and this is precisely when I need to be processing my cows. And I don't want them hanging around in here with a lot of turkey feathers, and they take up too much space. They have to hang for about 15 days. All right, so what do I think you need? Like, if I was going to start over again, what would I do? How would I do this? You need a place to process animals, just a place, a place you can keep all your tools. Here, I'm going to step outside because I want to show you. This is where we do the killing. So those cones right there is where we put the chickens head down with the feet away, and have a knife hanging up there. Actually, it's on a magnet so I don't lose it. And we just make a little cut on their neck and they bleed out really quickly. So this is custom day, so these birds are not ours. These are neighbors that I brought them to have done. So there's like 150 birds here, but this is not really a big deal. We're good at this. We've been doing it a long time, so we'll whip through this by lunch. Today's opening day. And the way we do it is we have a rail out here as well that we built. That's a scalding tank for doing pigs. And then that's the scraping table that I just built to lay the pigs on after we've done this. That's a barbecue right behind there, or a smoker, and it's on wheels so I can wheel it around if I want to. And I do occasionally. But this area is it's not a concrete floor, it's just stone. And I think this is the way to go, because in the wintertime using it like today, I'm not going to want to use a lot of water out here to wash it down. So anything, fluids will just sink right in, and it's not a bad thing. The bacteria in the soil takes care of any blood or manure or anything like that, and eats it right up. It's kind of nice that we have the shop because you can come in and you can get warm. We can work in here at night because we have lights, and that's all stuff that I did. It's not the best installation. I'm not an electrician, a certified electrician or anyway, but I was able to do it. This part of the shop is the clean side, they call it, and this is where a lot of the tools are for doing the processing. And we have running water in here. There's a water heater in here, so there's hot water in here. So this is like an overall tool that gives us the ability to do many things in here in the summer, because we can keep it relatively insect free. We have screens on the windows, which is a good idea. We also have an air conditioner in here, so in the summertime you can cool it off a little bit to work in here. In the wintertime it's insulated, so we can run a heater, which I have running over there, and it'll heat it up nice. And so on days when you really don't want to be outside, it's really cold out like it is today, you have a place where you can come and you can do things and stay productive, keep things moving along. So on a homestead, there's kind of a season for everything, and fall, looks like winter out, but it's still fall, is the time to process animals. So my schedule is stacked right up. Every day is stacked up. Plus I have maintenance on equipment and stuff to do. But it's all right. If I don't get to something, then it just gets pushed off to the next day. Like today is deer hunting, so that takes priority, of course. But I have 150 chickens to do before that, so I don't think I'm going to be going deer hunting until tonight. And I'm only going under duress because I'm not really into it like I used to be. But my kids want to go, so I'll go. I got pigs to do coming up. Saturday I have a pig to do. And then next weekend we have our two steers, nearly 3-year-old steers that we're going to do. So that's going to be a lot of work. But my kids are going to be here helping me, and we'll make a day of it, actually. It's kind of a fun day. So do you need all this stuff? No, I don't think you do. This is where maybe you could look forward to, but I think you can get away with a tree and a pulley to pull an animal up on. For chickens, it's kind of nice to have a roof over your head. It's kind of nice to have a place where you can stay warm or cool, depending on the weather where you're living at. But, you know, you can get away with very few of these amenities. This is just like creature comfort things that we have. Drains in the floors and things like that. But you don't really need all that stuff for the homestead. This is sort of like a deluxe homestead, but it was a commercial operation for over 10 years. We were doing this whole thing commercially. So I think the next video is going to be, and I hope that covers facilities. All right, I hope that covers it. It's maybe someplace where we could start talking on our Wednesday night discussion. Maybe I haven't hit everything. I don't know. I was kind of impromptu doing it. But if there are questions, save them up until Wednesday and then ask them, and everybody can hear the responses to them. How about, oh yeah, water's overflowing. How about everybody give this page a share? You know, share it to your friends that are into homesteading, or maybe want to get into homesteading or small farming. And let's kind of increase our footprint if we can. And I think next time, the next installment of this will be equipment. What equipment you need. And I'll show you the equipment that I have, and you can decide where you want to land on that. To actually do it at the most minimum cost, minimum equipment, you know, you probably need a knife, a sharpening stone, and maybe a bone saw. And you could probably, you know, get away with everything that you need to do. It's just kind of nice to increase and make things easier and more comfortable to do. I'm not really at the point, and I want to make this pretty clear, where I'm trying to do a lot of anything. This is my time to be able to do things well. All right. When we were producing 20,000 chickens off this place on pasture per year, per summer, you think about that. You're running. And this place was bustling 2 days a week with just our chickens, not the chickens from off farm. So there was a lot going on. And it was a good learning experience, you know, but that's not what we're doing now. This is not a piecework operation. This is just a place where you can comfortably process animals, relax, do a good quality job, instruct. All right, this is where we had our Homestead hog harvest class that was an absolute success this year. So it was a comfortable environment. We could show people how to take a pig apart. You know, we did some of it outside, but the wind came up, and I said, okay, time to move stuff in, because people were just so uncomfortable. It was hard for them to focus on, you know, the instruction that they were being given. So we were able to move in. But actually, that in itself was good, because then I could say, you see, you know, what you're up against doing this. If you're doing it in the minimal environment, it could be really cold. Like I got to do a pig tomorrow outside. I think it's going to be a nice day, but it could be a really bad day. And the part of it, the scald and the scrape, that has to be done outside. We don't have the room to do that inside, and I don't want to do it inside because it's really messy. I prefer that all to be outside. And for a little while there, we're going to be uncomfortable. Oh yeah, for sure. But then we can always duck in here, get warm, you know, so it's not bad. All right, there we go. There's my first installment of Homestead Butchering. There you go.